It is the police call everybody will be talking about. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Brian Loftus. A family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now. And tonight, our David Charnes with the video you will only see on 8 News Now. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling the 8 News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm still nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. I've only saw a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and one and only James Williams, Dog Waters, and I'm back, and we need to talk about Jeremy Corbell and the clear psychological operation that's being lined up. Now, before I play anything, before I give my opinion, before I say anything, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that Jeremy Corbell is the lead role player in a conspiracy. I believe that Jeremy believes what he's saying. But there's 2 actual elements of a psychological operation. One, which we witnessed from Q, if you're a Q follower, I'm sorry, don't get mad at me, is you need the person to feed the data. You need somebody to feed it. That person can be real or they can be an actor. And then you need the supplements. You need the main course, and that person serves as the main course. Then you need the sprinkling on the main course. You need the seasoning. We just started to see the seasoning coming lately. We started to see the seasoning all over the place. We just started to see the seasoning all over the place in the news when the New York Times put out, oh, there's a spaceship coming there and it could be hostile to kill Americans. And it could kill the whole planet. And it could be an alien species that want to kill us. Yeah. And you got to understand, you have him, you have George Knapp. Let's just dig into it a little bit. Hold on. Let's get the ball rolling.
But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe. It's nuanced, how they explain that. the nature of that threat. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People been whispering a date for a long time now. I know where that lie comes from. I know specifically what document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie. A classified document. That is the lie you will be told. You're going to be told that there is a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sent you 2 texts today with a year. Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to propagate that lie. I'm not going to be part of it. I'm not going to say it to the camera. Everybody knows. Just start paying attention. And they'll change the date, especially if they see this. Things will change. Because maybe I'm trustworthy. Maybe I'm worthy of your trust. Maybe I've told you the truth the whole way through it. Now you can verify it. If that's the case, then I'm fucking dangerous. You've been told the truth about UFOs for a long time now. It's been pretty orchestrated. It's been pretty clear. And it's using people that are telling the truth and want to tell the truth. Ultimately, they want you to know something. They want you to know UFOs are real. Thank God we're finally there. We're all there now. They want you to know the truth. But why they want you to know that truth now? Hope I'm wrong. But it's terrifying. Think about it. Maybe it's good to get ahead of it. Call it out now before they do it. I'll be called crazy. That's okay.
Now, it's not hard to think about what he's talking about. It's what everybody's been talking about for the longest. Project Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam, Project Bluebeam. And when you go deeper into the Project Bluebeam documents, it's because they're going to do a fake alien invasion. And they're going to whack a whole bunch of people with technology that governments have around the earth, that the deep state has. That's to bring people into fear, to bring in their new world order and their one world government combined with their AI God. You see, they're having trouble getting their CDBCs in. Watch, hold on, let me show you some of these things, and you'll see it. Now, we need to head on over to Alex Jones at InfoWars, and let's take a listen.
There is clearly an aspiration, a desire for digital payments, much more so than it was in the past, and this is growing. We are now, in the surveys that we've conducted across the 19 members of the Euro area, we have more than 50% of the respondents who say, we want digital payments. Well, less use of cash, demand for secure and riskless payments. Where do we stand? We central bankers, we have been operating as a monetary anchor in relation to the commercial banks and the private money. If we are not in that game, if we are not involved in experimenting, in innovating in terms of digital central bank money, we risk losing the role of anchor that we have played for many, many decades. And we have historical examples of period where the central bank monetary anchor was not there, and that precipitated crisis after crisis. That certainly was the case at the time of the free banking in the 19th century. Do we want to go back to those days? Probably not. I would say certainly not from our vantage point, as a result of which we have to respond to the demand for those digital payments in order to maintain the role of anchor that we have been playing regularly.
Well, she just said we can't be the anchor. We don't want to go back to the 1900s when in the world of free banking, do we? Certainly not. Why wouldn't she want free banking, right? Because under central bank digital currency, under central banks as we know it, it's complete command and control.
Well, I thank Alex Jones for allowing me to borrow his segment for a second. And let me leave his face up here. Where you at, Alex? Get your face up there, Alex. Where your face at, Alex? They want to give me your face? We can leave this guy's face up here. So, you got to understand, the playbook that the globalist, elitist, quote unquote, lizard people have been running, it's been all public. It's not like they're running plays that are not known to people. And they're sticking with the playbook. It's an if-then playbook. If this happens, then we do this. If this doesn't happen, then we do this. And you see, they've run into this problem where, especially with the prosperity of the United States of America coming roaring back, and then the laws being changed inside America to make it more prosperous, the only way they're going to be able to maintain control and build out their market-to-beast system and use their AI is if central bank digital currencies are in play. Why am I mentioning this? Because what comes next is designed to drive in. It's like a damn using a nail gun to hammer in the New World Order. Right now, they've been doing stuff and on their agenda, their depopulation agenda. They've been on it. They're moving towards it. No matter what we say, they're continuing to do it. We can see currently inside the Trump administration, they're still getting certain certain shots and vaccines passed. And we all know that's a part of depopulation. And so we're seeing weather modification. We're seeing poisoning of the food and the water. That agenda is still moving forward. It's one of the many things that, I like the fact that the economy is being fixed, but what's the good of a fixed economy when people are just dying of cancer everywhere? The major issues aren't being hit. But I brought you here so you'll understand why they're rolling out the alien invasion now. The alien invasion is very, very important to them because if they can get their alien invasion rolled out, then they can get everything all at once because they need to be able to bring people into fear. And fear is not the season we're in right now. Right now, we're in a season of victory. People are not afraid. So you need a big, bad boogeyman that's going to make people afraid. That's enough of that BS. That's clearly from somebody's TV show. And I thought this was like something else. I'm sorry. That's enough of that foolishness. Let's go on to the next phase of this. Because there's this conversation about UFO disclosure. And I'm just going to tell you, that's all BS. Like this whole concept and idea of when is the government going to disclose that there's UFOs? You don't need nobody to disclose to you what you see with your own eyes. Your disclosure happened during the Biden administration when they had drones in the sky and they had crazy objects flying around in the sky. That's when your disclosure happened. Now, for many of us, the disclosure happened years ago when we started investigating these things and started noticing strange and weird anomalies and started actually digging into it. So what is this targeting? And this is the point I want to get to. Who is this targeting? And this is how you know it's a part of the psychological operation. It's not targeting me. It's not targeting you. It's targeting normies. It's trying to break its way into the mindset and the collective conscious of the normies. The only time they've ever been able to do that was when we had the drones growing everywhere and it was all over the news. So now this next thing is making an attempt to break into the collective consciousness, of normies. And it's not doing very well, honestly. It's not doing very well at all. Because the average normie, you're going to need an alien to blow up their house. I mean, you're going to need an alien to land in Times Square in New York City and get out and start twerking to back that thing up before they start paying attention. Yeah, you're going to need that. Now, people who are into the strange and weird, the UFO disclosure. That's the problem with the echo chamber. Inside of the echo chamber, everybody thinks that, hey, this is so serious. But when you get outside of the echo chamber, talk to a regular dude who got to take his kids to school, got to pay his mortgage, got to pay for private school. His wife wants to go on 2 vacations a year. He's hustling and trying. They don't give a damn. Well, James, what are you trying to say? What I'm saying is, in order to effectively accomplish all the goals of the deep state, they need a tool that's going to get the attention of normies and bring the normies into fear. That's what they were able to do in 2020. And they brought all the normies into fear. If you notice, people who are non-normies like us, It's like, man, I don't believe none of that stuff they saying. That's a bunch of bull. That don't make no sense. What you mean you just got it sitting on the shelf in record time? Nah, what you talking about? It's not about you. And that's the most important thing to understand. It ain't never been about you. You are what they will call people they know they'll never reach. They are targeting the normie. And that's what it's all about. The normie. Hold on one second. Now, I want to be real with you so you'll understand. The vitriol that you see when people like Jeremy Corbell is attacked, and others in this field get attacked, you do need to realize UFOlogy is its own religion. And just like cryptids is a religion, just like Epstein is slowly but surely becoming its own form of worship, UFOlogy is its own damn religion. I mean, you got to understand that as we explore this, as we go through it. If you don't understand it from that perspective, you're going to see comments that people make. Oh, this guy's this guy's that, blah, blah, blah. You're going to see people get persecuted in the comments. And understand the reason why it's happening is because it's a religion. Yeah, I just need you to understand that. Now we're traveling down the road of Project Bluebeam. And the concept and idea is that as many people, if you can get people to see something, then it becomes the reality of that thing. Not a hard concept to understand. It's just the time period in which the technology needed to do it, we weren't there yet. But there's something very unique about where we are. You see, for me and you, the concept and idea of seeing AI videos and coming to the realization that AI can make likable, livable, not likable, human-like videos, it's a sign that points to they can pull off this hoax. To other people who are normies, whose eyes are blinded, that doesn't even cross their mind. Yeah, it won't cross their mind at all. In fact, the concept of AI videos is not even something that's on their mind. How do I know? Because I have a lot of friends who are normies. I get talking to them about stuff. Man, what you think about the AI videos? I ain't seen no AI videos. Well, they've seen them, but they didn't know they were AI. Because their reticular activating system is not turned on to notice the difference between the two. And so you may be thinking to yourself, well, how can they roll out AI and then roll out Project Bluebeam? Well, if the RTA system is not turned on for the average normie, it's not registering things as AI. It's not registering it as projections. Their brains just don't function that way.
If enough people believe that something is real, then it is real in its effects.
In terms of the social reality.
In terms of the social reality, in terms of what people act according to their beliefs.
Yeah.
And that opens a question of, really at two levels, perhaps something that we are creating ourselves, perhaps a series of images that we are projecting. I think Carl Jung came very close to expressing that idea in one of his books. Or could it be manipulated purposely by people who have the technology to simulate UFO sightings? And people say, well, of course not. Who would do a thing like that? Well, I would remind you that during the Watergate investigation, it was discovered that there was a plan originated in the White House to surface a submarine off the coast of Cuba and paint the second coming of Christ over the island of Cuba using holograms. Which is well within our technology today. The idea was that since there is a large Catholic population in Cuba, they would be so upset by this vision that this would saturate the communication channels, the telephone system in Cuba, long enough for an invasion to take place.
How interesting. I never heard of that.
Well, I think that's a classic in psychological warfare, but that kind of manipulation is well understood, and I have personally investigated several apparently genuine UFO cases where there was, in fact, a manipulation. My conclusion, the conclusion of scientists working with me, was that there was, in fact, a manipulation taking place, and that it was not a hoax on the part of the witnesses, but a hoax on the part of somebody much better organized than.
So there are possibly all of these levels going on simultaneously.
Today, today, with the current technology, that would be.
And that's the point. You see, everything that we've experienced has been a form of a psychological operation. In fact, we have been subjected to so many psyops that is ridiculous. I mean, Pizzagate, psyop, not Pizzagate, PP-gate, psyop, Russian collusion, psyop, 2020 to 2023, psyop. Within that psyop, Black Lives Matter, psyop. That was a vicious psyop that just almost took down the whole sports industry. When you really look at the pace of the psychological operations that's been rolled out, it's being done, it's building up to something. We kind of got a little bit of a reprieve from it right now. We're in the middle of the Epstein psychological operation right now. Well, no, you say Epstein is a psychological operation because I care about the kids. I can't agree with you. You see how you all invested and upset and mad? That's how you know it's a psychological operation. See how you're so emotionally invested to where you got to argue and you got to fight? That's how you know it's a psychological operation, because it's affected your psyche. Do I want to see bad people go to prison? Hell yeah. Are there bad people going to prison right now? Absolutely. Right now, every day. Right now, the big parts of the lower end of that network is being rolled up every day. It's just not the people you want to see rolled up. So it's like, oh, when are we going to get this person and that person? You getting victories all day long. PSYOP. Psychological operation, and it's working. So when you see yourself having these cascading psychological operations, probably every 3 months. Yeah, I would say every 3 months. Let's make it every 6 months just to be safe. Because it was 2020, January 2020, that first one started. By the time we got into August of 2020, they were laying the groundwork for the next psychological operation. Yeah, let's say every 8 months. But you're getting hit with them over and over and over and over again, and it's escalating to this one. This psychological operation is the one that's designed to usher in the New World Order. Now, let's just look at whether or not it's possible to do this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand this is the old technology that they had. This is the old stuff that we're looking at. People riding down the street in freaking Wales going over buildings. Now, somebody said, well, DW, that's CGI. No, that was actual them projecting it. Here's another one of them projecting it. That CGI? No, that was them projecting it. And the craziest thing is, what do you think CGI is? It's holographic projection technology. And here's another one. And so the concept and idea of them doing it, man, it's 100% completely and totally possible. And I'll tell you even more why I think they're going to use this is because if you notice, when I first started doing this research, if you go back to my older videos on this, that there were a number of videos out here. Now, everything has been taken over by drones. Now, imagine these are lasers. Imagine lasers on drones that can project holograms into the sky with this technology on drones. Somebody will say, man, that's not going to be possible. Well, they already have drones that can lift up into the sky and simulate a damn sun. Enough light to be the sunlight at nighttime. Don't believe me? Hold on. Now understand, this is on a market where you and I can go buy this, right now. So the stuff that's on the marketplace compared to what we know governments have is the government stuff is going to be 4 or 5 times more powerful, 10 times more powerful than anything they put on the market. Take a look. Drone. dark outside. Oh, we need some sunlight. We need light. We need light. Bam. And you look around, and oh my goodness, it's a lot of light. Whoa. We have the ability to dig these people out from under this hurricane. Now let me rewind this. Watch this. Watch this. Now, pause right there. Now, if you was chilling at the house and you saw that out in the distance over some trees, let's give it 100 yards away from you over some trees. What would you say that thing is? Now, let's scale it up and make it 2.5 times bigger, 3 times bigger. Let's make the lights blue instead of white. What would you think that is? Damn UFO. Right there, it looks like a UFO. If I was to take this image and turn it into a short video and be like, Chinese workers were abducted by a UFO, and then put it in a short feed, people are like, man, that's a UFO. Because that's what it looks like. So the point I'm making to you is the technology is there. We're beyond the point of the technology. The issue is, are you going to believe? Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? The issue is, are you going to believe? And that's what this all boils down to. Them forcing you to believe. And I'm going to tell you why I know they're going to try this. Because they were able to force the entire world to believe in one thing once. That was the test run. Not only did they get the whole world to believe in what they said, as they all said it in unison, then they got everybody to act on that belief. Then they tested, okay, we got them to act on the belief. Now let's see if we can divide each and every person, the most important relationships people have, based on that belief. And then they said, well, if you got to take this to protect me. And then they said, well, if you haven't done that, then you can't come to my house because, you'll kill me. It was all the test run for the big one, baby. And that's all I'm telling you is the big one's coming. You got to gird up your loins like a man or a woman. If they gird their loins up, probably not. But nonetheless, you got to prepare your mind because the big one's coming. Yeah, the big one is coming. You already made one decision. Who you going to believe? You going to believe in man, or you going to medicine, or you going to believe in God? Now, this time they're going to tell you, do you believe in Jesus and God, or do you believe in aliens? Boy, this one about to be wild. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen in our lifetime. You ain't going to die. It's going to happen before you die. Well, unless you're like 99 years old, but that's not really my demographics. It's going to happen in your lifetime while you're still living and breathing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only James Williams Dark Waters. I'm out of here.